want to know what golf addiction looks like, you're staring at it right now.
Let's go, baby.
Started from the bottom, now we're here, slightly above the bottom.
Circling the wagons, baby. Circling the wagons.
Anchor.
Boom! Let's go! Maybe you guys will find some value in entertainment, but worst case, we're just documenting cool shit that we do. Cheers to Chris having hit the shot again.
Nope. Okay.
What's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to episode 1 of the Firm Middle Podcast. To my right, I have Mr. Chris Baer. To my left, I have Shane Bellinger. What's up, guys?
How we doing?
What's going on?
Man, it's crazy to think you were saying as we were setting this up 2 years ago, you didn't think we would ever be setting it up for a podcast.
No, if you would have told me 2 years ago that we would be doing this instead of just going and playing golf, I would have laughed at you. I'm still laughing a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely not. Just kind of came together. We have the golf saloon here to use for recording, so, I mean,
Also known as the First Baptist Bar and Grill.
It's got numerous monikers.
Named by Shane. Always a good place to hang out.
When he sent the photo, when we were talking about like where we want to do this podcast, and he sent the photo, it was instant. Like there wasn't a, let's change this, let's do this. I was like, dude, this is perfect.
Yeah, not even setting up a studio. This is just how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad all the money I spend on these pin flags can actually go to some kind of use now.
It's a write-off, right? No.
Yeah, I mean,
I've done a couple of them, I think.
Unfortunately, I paid for all of those, but there are some clubs that you go to where you go, hey, can I get a pin flag? They're like, only if you make a hole-in-one. Unfortunately, none of these are hole-in-one pin flags.
There you go. But it is weird because today is a golf day for us. So generally, we literally made the decision to not go play golf this morning so that we could start recording this podcast. So that it is a little surreal and strange to kind of do that.
For sure.
So, and
I'm not sure if I'd rather be playing golf or not right now.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But just to let you guys know kind of the idea. So we've been friends for 20 plus years at this point, been playing golf, high school golf, on throughout. And we've just started recording us playing golf. And so through this, you're going to get a podcast about different things that we talk about just in everyday life of golf. And then I think we're getting some good videos and matches up on our YouTube for just regular golf. So that's kind of the idea behind this, is just doing the same thing that the three of us do every day when it comes to golf, just recording some of it because maybe you guys will find some value in entertainment, but worst case, we're just documenting cool shit that we do regardless. So
I think we are just so deep in the game at this point, the only way to go was to try to crack into YouTube golf.
Sure. If you want to know what golf addiction looks like, you're staring at it right now.
Yeah. We, I mean, again, I met these guys when I was
Sixth grade.
Seventh is when I came in.
For you?
Yeah. Okay. And we've been playing golf since. And they're a little bit better than me, but we have our moments. But
currently.
Hence why he's no. But yeah, so anyways, that's kind of the vision of this. It's not anything outside of it. We just want to have fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. If there's some stuff that you'd like to see us do, I think the YouTube golf, just the golf in general, like it's been neat kind of playing the 2-man scrambles.
Right.
Different.
It's fun.
Some different challenges. Again, like we play a lot of the same courses, play a lot of the same stuff, and so it can kind of get a little mundane playing the same place every Wednesday or the same kind of rounds of golf. So I think that's been kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. There's we're located down here in Charleston, no shortage of golf, especially within driving distance of here. So if there's some courses in the area anybody wants to see on camera and see how we can slap it around there, let us know.
Courses that we have access to.
Yeah, that's the hard part about
big
Charleston. That's the hard part about Charleston is like all the public golf courses are slowly getting kind of worse and worse, or the price just doesn't make sense for the condition of it. But I think the first thing we talk about is what you kind of mentioned right before air. So we have the U.S. Open coming up. We just recently got completed with the PGA Championship, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But Chris mentioned, are we at a point now where it's Scotty Scheffler versus the field? Are we there yet?
In my heart, no, just because the genesis of the whole discussion comes from our youth and when we were kids, just, you know, being super obsessed with the game. Early 2000s, obviously, that was Tiger Woods' heyday. And every week, you look up, you know, it wasn't like now where the chyron at the bottom of ESPN has all the betting odds and everything, but the odds basically were, if you were going to bet money on a golf tournament, it was, do you take Tiger or do you take anyone else in the field? And taking Tiger was a pretty solid bet.
I know, I was always a big Chris DeMarco guy.
You lost a couple there at Augusta.
No, I did. Luckily, I was too young to bet.
But seriously, I mean, like, but you look at the run he's been on. Is Scotty Scheffler that guy?
I think, I can't remember if it was Spieth or whoever it was. It might have been at the Heritage. They asked him, and thought it was a pretty good opinion. He basically said, it might have been Homa actually. He was like, yeah, Scotty's just on an unbelievable tear right now. Like, golfers can get hot and stay that way for months and then, you know, cool off. He's like, all respect to Scotty, but, you know, he's just on a heater right now.
I think it's hard to go Scotty versus the field until we see Scotty do it for longer than 2 or 3 months. I mean, obviously he did well last year.
Sure.
He's been on an unbelievable streak this year. He won 4 of his first 5 starts, and then one of them was a second place finish where he missed like a 5-footer to send it to a playoff. And so that's something that I don't think anybody else has ever had, is that closing ability that Tiger had. He didn't miss the 5-foot putts to go to extra holes. I mean, I'm sure he did. I didn't watch every single Sunday of my life, so I don't know, but I mean, we all saw the U.S. Open with the broken back and broken leg where he had to make birdie on 18 and on Torrey Pines and had to hit a sidewinder. Like, he didn't miss those putts and shots. And I think that's where, once you have that ability, I think is where the versus the field can come into, because he can just shut you down. And I don't know that Scheffler has that yet. His skill level and his tear is unbelievable, but I don't know if he's quite, you know, taking on everybody yet. Because like this Sunday, we just had the Charles Schwab, I think is what just happened, and he was second place, 3 or 4 back, and then just kind of shot over par and kind of fell out of contention on Sunday.
Did he shoot even, or was he over par on Sunday?
He was over par.
Okay, so that was 2 over par rounds in one tournament.
And that was like the first one
of the, yeah.
They had some stat, I can't remember what it was.
His first over par round of the entire season was when he got arrested at the PGA.
The Saturday after.
The Saturday, the next day. But now he's got 2 in the tournament that just happened last week. I'm not saying he's fallen off, but he does appear to be human.
Yeah.
During that round after he got arrested, I was watching live from, and basically what Paul and Brandel were saying was like, yeah, okay, he played good that day, but it was like after he gets a night's sleep after getting out of the clink, that's when it's going to be the toughest for him. And I thought it was a little strange. I was like, well, he got out of the can and played a good round, but then he didn't play well that Saturday. I was like, dang, these guys know a lot more than I do.
I think on that point, if you really think about it, it wasn't like he went to jail the night before. He was on the way to the tournament when he went to jail. He was pulling into the front gate when he got arrested. So I think by the time he even got to the first tee, he hadn't even had time to process it yet. The adrenaline's still way up. He's still, I mean, I don't know, have y'all ever been arrested?
No.
I've never been to jail, but I've had a couple of instances where, stuff gets a little sideways and you don't really realize, holy crap, that just happened until a while after. So I think when he got to the first tee, he was just still in shock. Shoot 66, then went home and started maybe talking to his lawyers a little bit, started assessing, where could this possibly go. Then you show up on Saturday, you probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep the night before.
We had his big country lawyers saying, it's like, no,
we're going to trial.
trial.
Yeah. Which that was fun to see.
Yeah, and to go back, I think I don't think we're Tiger versus the field. So we're all, I don't know much about you, Chris. I know Shane and I are big DP guys in the morning on the radio. You're at work at like fucking crack of dawn, so
early.
You're pre DP show, but they have had that as a poll question now. I think for the PGA, maybe it was like Scotty versus the field.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, so it is definitely becoming a topic of conversation amongst the sports media and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to watch. Let's see what he does at the U.S. Open next weekend, and on a tough ass golf course that
For sure.
What was like 1 under par, won it last time it was there.
What was that was 14, right?
Yeah. I know it wasn't much. It was like 1 or 2. And
Was that Michael Campbell or was that 05?
05.
That was 05
Campbell.
was Campbell.
Yeah,
It was 14.
I don't know. Let's look. Let's
know.
let's
I put
Google
my
it.
Someone,
over
let's say
there.
we need a laptop up is what we need.
We do need a laptop. Shane, we have a laptop right there. We have it up.
Yeah,
Martin Keimer?
U.S. I think it was U.S. Open.
that sounds right.
Pinehurst, 2014. Let's see if Chris got it right. It was.
Martin Keimer.
Yep. Yeah, Martin Keimer won it. He was. Didn't say the score. You'd think it would just give you the answer. A couple under par though.
Anyway,
Well, you boys went and played that course last year. So, I know you probably played it from 2,000 yards closer than these boys are going to be playing it. What kind
at
of...
least.
Yeah, I think we looked it up. I think they're playing it from 7,600 yards.
That's
as
what
a
it-
par.
wow.
As a par 70.
That's what it is on the card. I mean, obviously they can't stretch it that far unless the fairways get so hard that the ball's running out 100 yards. I don't think you can bring the tees back that far.
Well, I honestly do not... I'm going to have to do some research before the tournament starts, but I don't know the course that well. So seeing it in person, what kind of game you got to... What's your strength you got to have to get through there?
So 2 things that you have to do.
Sure will.
I mean, there's 3 technical total attributes I think you would need as a golfer. A, your mental ability to just be okay making bogey, because you're gonna make if you see a 2 or 3 day run of no bogeys from a golfer, that's gonna be unbelievable because just the greens, the up and downs. Then your ball striking to certain positions on the greens, because where we play here, you got a big green, you can kind of hit it anywhere on the green. And you may not have an ideal putt, but you're putting. Where Pinehurst, you hit in the wrong spot, it's either A, going to roll off the green, or you're going to putt it off the green, or bring that into it.
I did that twice.
And then...
Put it off the
Put
green?
it off the green.
Yeah. And then 3...
And they weren't bad putts either, by my standards.
One of them led to a transfusion after we got done. But and then the third thing is your ability to get up and down. I mean, that's kind of a known thing in all of golf. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to put the ball in the right spots on the greens.
God, before I was thinking, I like the field. If we're talking Scotty versus the field, just because there's so many world-class guys out there, but his ability, he's a scrambling man. His
For sure.
ability to get out of the absolute shit and into the hole is crazy.
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to be a golf course you're going to lose a lot of golf balls. I don't think there weren't, when we played, there weren't a lot of hazards that were a big concern.
Just trees and sand.
Just trees and sand and those little balls of grass. I can't remember what they called them. I saw some on Instagram, but those little weed balls that your ball can literally get in the middle of. Outside of that, I mean, you can kind of hit it anywhere you want to on the golf course. It's not something that so it's not going to be somebody that's like you have to be deadly accurate in the fairways. You just need to be accurate with your irons.
The fairways are pretty generous too.
Yeah.
I mean, for U.S.
So
Open
it sounds
standards.
like you're gonna have to be dialed with your irons. You've got
Very
to
much
hit
so.
in like
Yeah.
a 20-foot wide spot.
I mean, you're
That's
gonna have to be
probably
very
generous.
comfortable playing away from flags.
Correct.
It's kind of cliche every time you hear about Pinehurst. That just all people talk about are like the turtle shell greens. The reason that that's what people talk about is very evident when you see it in person.
It's
Or when
real.
you hit one 5 feet from the flag, it bounces once and you have a 40-yard chip. All of a sudden, you're like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, and it's weird. So when you go to Pinehurst, yeah, the first tee is kind of tucked off in the wood, like next to the trees, kind of off in the corner, and then they have the practice green is a version of what is on the course, and it is just a turtle shell. And I remember it got in my head because that's what I kept trying to figure out is like, how am I going to chip and putt onto this thing? So I've got hybrid, 3-iron, 3-wood. Like I'm just trying to fit because it's anything how to keep it close to the ground.
Practicing shots you've never hit before.
Correct. I've never hit any of these shots. I'm comfortable with my wedges, and so I'm cool just nipping wedges. And that's where I struggled in the front nine as I was trying to do all these crazy up and downs. And finally, we weren't playing it in anything crazy condition, so I was comfortable with wedges kind of towards the end. But it was number 15 is like a good example. When we got there, I was looking it up. The caddy said, he's like, the pin's there. He's like, you have like a 10-yard spot where you can land the ball. Anything outside of that is just gonna roll off the green. And literally, Chris and I both landed in the spot, and it still almost rolled off the green.
Wow.
And so there wasn't, and they're going to be hitting on the scorecard here. This is just the traditional scorecard. It's 183, and so I'm sure they're going to be playing it at 200 plus. So they're going to be hitting longer irons into it. It's not a wedge, and so it's going to be fun to watch. See how they handle it.
We're in somewhat of a mini drought, one could say here lately. Of course, it's probably going to be burnt out unless something changes.
Unless the village of Pinehurst gets a ton of rain, I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of water touching that course.
Yeah.
I'll get you the scouting report. I'm going up on Monday and Tuesday.
Is that crap? That's Monday,
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Or
it.
in like what 10 days?
It's next week. I forgot that you're going because my wife did not want to. That was funny. That was a funny text.
Y'all were invited.
We were invited.
Yeah.
We were all invited, and so if you guys don't know my wife, but if you do watch and you do know her, she is very much an indoor cat. And and when Chris sent the text to me, and I kept forgetting to ask her, and I pretty much forgot to ask her because I knew it was just going to probably be a no anyways. And then I put him in like a group chat, and I was like, so we're going to be walking a lot. It's going to be hot. And then we're going to do this for 2 days. And she pretty much, when she woke up that day, replied back that she will forego going.
She was busy that day.
She was busy. She had staging or something that, hasn't been set up. But she's been for a trooper, she went to Augusta with me. She made it past the gift shop and onto the first fairway and then left. And then at the PGA Championship at Kiowa, she went in 12, whatever year it was.
21.
20. No, she didn't go to that one because of the first one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so 12. You're talking about Rory's.
Yeah, Roy, the year Roy won. She went with me like 5 days because we got all 7 days, a ton of badges through somebody she knew. And she's like, I don't know that I'll ever go to a golf tournament ever again. We got Wanamaker badges, so she went to the Wanamaker 10 the last 2 days and stayed there the whole time. So
Sweet.
I was going to say, at the Masters, you should have got her one of the Berkshire tickets. Isn't that what they're called?
Berkman's.
Yeah,
Berkman's. Oh, no,
she'd have probably liked that.
Oh no, she'll 100% go to the Masters to go to the Berkmans. But yeah, so I knew.
What is Berkman's?
So Berkman's is
that the really like expensive package where you get your own villa and stuff?
no. So Berkman's is they have their own logo.
Oh, okay.
So their gift shop that you buy is not the same gift shop everybody else, and how
Even more merch.
Yeah, even more Augusta merch. And so how you can tell that somebody has a Berkman's logo versus a regular logo is you have the regular Augusta logo, and then it'll have like a green circle around it.
Okay.
And it'll be kind of filled in. And it's like there's different, like you've seen like a white circle around something. It looks more distinguished. It really does. But you can tell if their shirt just has the regular logo, just normal Masters. If it has the green circle, But it's basically, from my friends that I've had go, like Condoleezza Rice is like shaking your hand walking in. It's green jackets everywhere. And it's pretty much anything and everything you want. One of my friends, the first story he told me about it, he said it was like 8 of them. They sat down and he's like, I'll take a dozen Oyster Rockefeller for each person. And they just brought it. Like he just sat there and then all of a sudden, boom, they had 8 dozen Oyster Rockefeller in front of them. And then like king crab legs and steak and like literally anything you want is there. Jeez. And then they have a mock version of the greens, and they like give you like a fitted putter, and you can putt on the version of the Masters greens, like a putt course. Yeah.
Now that's a putter fitting right there.
You don't keep the putter, but yeah, they give you like one fitted specifically for you, and then you go. Again, that's what I've heard. Never been in there. But when you go to the Masters, it's like they have hedges obviously around the whole golf course, but inside Berkman's there's another row of hedges, so you can't even see into Berkman's. You know it's there. You can kind of look through and kind of see the putting green, but that's it.
They wouldn't let me hold a rake in that place. I'm 12 years being denied in the lottery to even get badges to go to Augusta, much less that place.
That's what you're gonna get. So Chris is just gonna go like 25 years, never getting to go, and then he's just gonna like luck into like a Berkman's badge or something.
I'll take it if I can get it. No doubt about that. I just want to go.
Didn't the guy we played in one match, the member guest, have a Berkman's logo on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, I think that's something. And I was totally wrong. And Brandon goes, no, that's the Berkman's logo, you brokey.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
And it's like twice the price. So same year. When my friend went, he went in line. I guess it was cold, so he went to go buy like a little pullover. And he went up there, and I think all they had was like a cashmere one or something, and it was like $700 for this just Augusta sweater pullover thing. And he's like, I'm at Berkman's, I can't just turn around and not buy it. Like
I can't afford this.
Didn't they just escort you out?
Yeah.
I don't think you were supposed to get in, Slick.
Pretty sure they could just smell me when I came to the door and be like, either that or they hand me a platter and tell me to get to work.
He was pot committed. He's like, I just had to like painfully slide them the card for a sweater that I'm never gonna wear ever again.
I mean, that's an article of clothing that like gets passed down generations of your family, your great grandkids,
and they better wear it or else.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not passing it down. You bury me in that.
That's fair. I didn't even think about that.
Be more expensive than any suit I've got.
Fair point. But yeah, so that's Berkman's, and then the other time I went VIP, which is really cool. But you had to like sign your first child over to go. Basically, they like pool everybody's badges together, and then this one company puts on this VIP experience. So they put us in a house with like free booze, food. They put us on a private golf course where like Rory and all those guys played. We got to play there, and then they shuttled you everywhere. Massage therapist at the kind of party area, cigar cuttings, like everything. But you said, here's my phone. You signed over like a $50,000 personal liability waiver saying that you're not going to do anything to get kicked off the grounds. Like you basically just signed everything away, and then they gave you the badge, and the only way you got your stuff back is you gave them the badge back, and then you get your personal belongings. And that was pretty cool too.
All right.
50K.
You didn't pay for it, but
with free booze.
So yeah, you just
Better
can't
be on your best behavior.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's the one thing with the badges. You like, people are hesitant to let you borrow them because if something happens, you yourself will get in trouble if you do something illegal. But the person who owns the badge is gone.
For sure. I went to school with a guy. Went with a big group. One of the guys in the group was on borrowed badges. This is not the Berkman's thing. This is just, I think it was Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
At the Masters. They're behind the 7th hole, noon-ish, and this one dude is probably 15, 16 beers deep, was making a scene, and they kept telling him, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. You can't make a scene here. This is Augusta. You'll get kicked out. He decided to take his shirt off and belly flop into one of the bunkers on 7. Now, you'll never see this on TV because it's Augusta. They keep that shit under lock and key. But he was escorted out by my buddy said no less than a dozen like guys in suits that he didn't even know were on the ground. So they just came out of nowhere, and he might have been embellishing this a little bit, but he said the guy got put in handcuffs and walked away, and the family that let him borrow the badges lost their badges for life.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And see,
That's why it's so hard to go. It's because if somebody that has badges, they're not. I mean, I don't know that I'd trust me with them.
well, and that's because see, people don't know that, but back old school, and honestly, if I understand it correctly, Tiger Woods is who changed Augusta. Because from what I have gathered, and I'll give Steve Kelleher a shout out here because he's the elder member of our golf community.
Steve's too old to know what a podcast is, though. He'll never hear this.
He probably won't ever listen. But Steve, if you do figure the internet out and get this out, but you're in it, he told me back in the '90s you could just walk up to the gates and just buy a badge and walk in. And so, and he said Tiger is what changed that. But pre that happening, if you got a badge, you had the badge for life. That was what the mass. Nobody knows how many badges there are. Nobody knows how many are given out. Like that's all top secret. But back in the '90s and sooner, and I think even
is that true? Is
what?
It still true?
What?
They have to know how many badges are out.
Oh no, I don't think they announce it though. Like I don't think like
But
nobody.
Surely they know.
Oh no, Augusta knows,
Yeah.
but I don't think they say, hey, we have 100 badges left, or we're letting 500,000 people. Like I don't think they release those numbers.
I understand what you're saying now.
But yeah, but if you got the badge was yours as long as you paid the dues every year, and it was yours for life. And then I think in mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s, they got rid of the inheritance rule because you used to be able to put it in your will, and so now pretty much as people pass away, they're going. But that's how we get fortunate to go is somebody who's had, I think he has 8 badges and has had them since the 70s. And so he has them every year, and but he strategically did, I think, 4 for him, and then 2 for his wife and 2 for his daughter. And so he has some runway hopefully on those. But
so they didn't start the lottery thing until when you're talking about mid 2000s.
From what I understand, somewhere in that time, like I think Tiger Woods.
I can believe it because
I mean
Tiger exploded the whole interest. And that's a big reason why any of us got so interested in playing in high school. So
I was already hooked, but
I mean, you also got to think,
didn't hurt.
In 1995, we just had emails. It's like, how would you even really have had the lottery?
Yeah.
You would have had to receive a letter, check it off, put a stamp on it, mail. I don't again.
Well, I mean, that is what people used to do.
I know.
It wouldn't have seemed that out of place. In 1990, if you had to mail in your lottery application for Augusta badges, I don't think it would have felt like too big of a pain in the ass.
I wouldn't be sitting there. They got to automate this. This is old.
This is way too much work.
How do we streamline this? But yeah, I mean, that's just what I didn't get into golf until 1999, 2000. So like Tiger was on the scene at that point. So I don't know that much of the pre-1999 golf history. And so just from talking to other people, that's kind of what I learned from it. But
a lot of baggy pants.
A lot of dude, the Justin.
I had cleats and cuffs.
The Justin Thomas, Michael Jordan reel that like will pop up every once in a while when JT played Jordan in high school. And he was like 110 pounds, and his pants were like Jinko khaki pants. That
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, I guess he was on one of the night show, the nighttime, whatever shows. Late night shows. Yeah, and they asked him the story of like how he got to play with Michael Jordan at like 14 years old, and I guess Michael knew his dad or played there, and was like, I'll take Little Man, and then Little Man went out and shot like 31. And they have like a video of it, and he says, I'm like 110 pounds. It's like legit like Jinko pant khakis. And I was like, and the terrible plaid shirts. So bad.
Yeah.
They were so bad.
I was thinking, because my mom used to scrapbook like big time back in the day. And she had one for almost every golf season that we played. I was flipping through them. And some of the fit we had on back then, suspect.
They look good at the time, though.
Well, yeah, but when you look back, you're like, oh boy.
That's any kind of fashion, though. I mean,
the best.
Nobody looks back at what they wore in the 80s and like, whoa, wow.
Well, that's coming back, and then it come back every 30 years. I don't know.
I've looked like this since high school.
Height and clothes. Yeah.
Sure.
Richard,
Listen, you know, I've got it. So.
I'm sitting on a stool right now, though, so I don't look that much shorter than everybody else.
If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, though, you can see it in real life.
I'm not very tall.
I'm not saying anything because I'm right there with him.
That's the only reason you cut your hair like that, though, so you can have that extra, like,
That's
2
it.
inches on me.
I mean,
You gotta work smarter.
the crazy thing is, like, we pick on you for your height, and like you're not that much shorter than we are.
But we're all
Correct.
diminutive humans.
None of us are that tall. But I mean, going like the high school fit when we had the red Nike Mock Turtles in 04.
We won tournaments.
Yeah, we were the best looking high school golf team. Period. That was the freshest.
We're
outfit.
best dressed. I don't know about best looking.
I mean, that's all I really count for that.
I mean, looking back at it now, because I think I even have some of those old shirts.
I still have
just
all of it.
saved. You got like the big red, white, and blue with the huge stripe, like that big.
Yep.
Yeah. How hot it is down here in the
100%
summer
cotton.
now.
Yeah.
100% like poor quality cotton.
Like
too.
the rough cotton.
I was saying I probably wouldn't. I could probably make it through a round wearing one of those now, but I mean I'd have to go get an IV after. I'd be out for 2 days.
There's not enough Gatorade in the world.
And dude, we walked 36 holes carrying our bags in those. That's the
And the golf bag technology was not where it is either.
Dude, you couldn't tell us nothing, man.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
But yeah, I still have the
Slightly above the bottom.
I don't have the mock neck, but I do have all the golf shirts.
I've still got it, and I can still wear it.
Mine still fits.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys need to wear that like the next video.
Maybe I will.
Don't threaten me with a good
The
time.
more videos we keep shooting, I'm gonna have to start wearing some of the same shirts. So may have to wear the old red mock.
Yeah. Not like well, I can't speak for y'all, but my golf wardrobe is not the most unlimited thing in the world. We're gonna see some repeats.
Yeah, I have more golf shirts than I would like to admit to now. Thankfully, some of it's like member guests, member stuff, or that get free shirts, and then the old Johnny O brand, our member guest, man, that pink shirt just got me. And all of a sudden, like that was the first one I ever owned, and then Gene got me one from the Waste Management, so then I had 2, and then now I think I have like 5 of them, and they're unbelievably comfortable.
I've never felt a shirt like that one before.
And this is not an ad, this is just true life. Like it is that pink. I text Shane, I was like, Shane, when you wear this pink shirt, like you're gonna feel different.
It's gonna get wore out during the summer here. It's not balls hot yet, but it's coming.
So it'll be fun at Pinehurst in a couple weeks. I think we're like 6 weeks out from Pinehurst, by the way.
July
10th.
10th.
11, whatever that
Yeah, 11th
Thursday
through 14th
is.
is what it is. That's right.
We're going to play Pinehurst, 3 weeks after the Open? 4 weeks?
A month, basically a month. So the Open is the week of the 13th, and then we go to Pinehurst on the 11th
Right.
of July. So
I'll be there the 10th and 11th of June, and then going back with y'all the 11th of July.
that's gonna be hot as hell.
It's gonna be very hot.
But it's gonna be
And
a
dusty.
blast. So we're excited. We're doing our first, and again, for how long we've been friends and played golf, this is our first golf trip as a group ever. It's hard to even wrap. It's my first. I mean, you and I did Pinehurst kind of on a failed business venture for me last year, but I mean that was the closest thing I've ever been to a golf trip.
Same.
And this year we have 8 people total coming. We're playing the premier brand new number 10 golf course, which the Instagram stuff on it has been unreal.
I mean, we've never gone on a golf trip all together with a couple of our other buddies too. So it's gonna be competitive. We're gonna have to, maybe we'll get some ideas from the YouTube comments about a cool format we can do with 8 people.
Well, we're gonna have to put that aside for you and I. or we're at least going to have to play our own balls out because
No.
we've got
100%.
we've got stakes.
There is zero scramble, shamble, none of that stuff. It's just more.
No,
we got to figure out how to handicap it best because we're gonna have. Is Joey single digit?
Yeah, he's a 6.5 probably.
Oh man, so he's sneaking in under mine.
No, he called me. He called me whining last night, actually, saying he can't keep the ball in the fairway off the tee, and can I help him?
Oh, cry me a river.
I was like, you should call Chris, don't call me.
Yeah,
I can't tell him how to hit fairways, but I can tell him how to deal with failure.
I just told him, if he called you, it'd be somebody he could sympathize with.
Yeah,
appreciate that. He didn't call.
I mean, as I say, he didn't have your number, but he does run a group chat, so he does have it.
Joey's had my number for a while. I've known Joey longer than I've known you.
Yeah, I mean it's. But yeah, so we have 5 single digits and then 6 single. Ryan is a single digit handicap as well. So
moving on up.
Ryan's like an 8.
Yeah, 8-7. So Gene and.
So is everybody's handicap moving down except mine?
Oh, mine's been going up since last year.
I'm up a full point since the fall. I took 3 months off, but.
I've gone up from a 3.8 when I got hurt a year ago, and I'm an 8.2 now. So I've gone up 4.5 points in a year. I think I've only shot in the 70s like a couple times.
I got down to a 3.5. Stupidly signed up for the Charleston City Amateur at the Muni, and it is back up to like a 5 now, I think.
The Amateur put you up into the 5s?
Yeah, because they never redid the course rating after they redesigned the greens. So the course rating is relatively easy, and you go out there, get your ass handed to you, especially in tournament conditions, and it's cranking up. It's gonna take like months to get past, get those off the record.
Nah, so handicap's just potential though. So all you need to go out and shoot. You shot 75 at Oak Point.
Yeah.
Drop a couple 70s on that thing it'll plummet right back down. I shot, and especially if you play from the tips. Like I shot at 81 from the tips, and my handicap went down 0.3 of a point.
Yeah.
So that's why you like playing back there.
You damn right. Got to learn how the algorithm works and use it to your benefit.
I need to learn more about it because I was under the impression it didn't matter what tees you play from. It's what you shoot versus the slope numbers and the course numbers.
You're half right, but where it gets you from the white tees is you can just have a mediocre day. Say you go shoot 80 at the white tees.
I've done that several times recently.
It's jacking up. You probably shoot the same thing from the blacks, and you could potentially.
Yeah, it's.
I think 0.3 of
I'll take your word for it.
So I think that's what it is. I don't think we score a lot differently from the backs and the whites. Like I don't think it. I think you have shorter clubs and maybe some more birdie opportunities, but I don't know that we're shooting. I don't know that going back a tee on most of the courses that we play is like a massive disadvantage.
You don't have the accuracy discrepancy that I have with driver versus like a 5-wood or 3-iron.
That's true, but I sent you a reel that I sent one last night or this morning that it doesn't make sense to hit 3-woods because statistically speaking, you don't hit the fairway that many more times with a 3-wood than you do a driver.
Statistically speaking, whoever wrote that has not seen me hit driver.
I think next time we go out and play, let's track when he hit driver and 3-wood because I've seen him play smart and hit 3-irons in the woods. So I think we should. I think we should challenge it. But because I think sometimes you're a little too conservative. I think you could hit driver more.
I won't argue with you too much. It's not that I'm too conservative. It's that I have a complete lack of confidence.
We got him.
I just don't know what I'm doing when I pull the head cover off. It's more like the carnival going on inside my head won't slow down enough for me to make contact with the ball.
Understood. But it's like from the tips, like Rivertown is an example. That is a different golf course.
Of course, it's tough from the back.
These guys are always busting my chops because I'm always trying to play the tips, and Rivertown's one course. I'm not up for that fight.
We played it from the tips last year. I think like March or April, so over a year ago. And one of the people that we played with quit after 9 holes. He literally. Remember we were walking.
Was that me?
No, it was me, you, and Dan, and we got to number 9, the par 5, and he just pushed his buggy all the way to his truck. Like he didn't even. It wasn't like I might go to 10. I might like get a. Like he just pushed his thing and left.
Wow.
And then I think you and I went and got a cart.
I forgot about that.
I think you and I got a cart and rode the back 9 because of how challenging the front
Just
was.
kept on getting our ass kicked.
Yeah, but we pushed through the backside.
Yeah, I mean, it comes at you quick. What's number 2, like 230, full carryover water, par 3.
It's a weird. That's a strange because like from I guess they have a front men's, a back men's, and then the blacks. Even from the back men's, like you're still on the same side as the green. That tips, like you're in a different.
I played it one time and was like, all right, I have to admit, I ain't got it like this.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue back into what we were talking about with Pinehurst. What hole was it? 4? The one where they were building. They were
Sounds like some shit went down if you just.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yes.
4th hole.
4 and 5.
When we got to the tee box, Shane.
Same, man.
We all right. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. We played it at 434, par 4,
Correct.
which among the longest holes on the course from those, from those tees.
And it's also
434 is a big par 4 for us.
It's also
Yeah.
narrow.
Yeah, it's a shoot. There's trees and sand and fairway. That's it. But what I'm getting at was they had a construction crew and earth movers and everything building the tee for this year's U.S. Open, and it was at least a full wedge from where we teed off to get all the way back, and it was elevated and it was back up against like the tree line and everything.
Wow. So
I can't wait to see that when I go up.
It's going to
in
be
a
over
week.
500.
I think
I couldn't imagine. I was just laughing hysterically. I already bogeyed 2 of the first 4 holes, or 2 of the first 3 holes, and I looked at Brandon and I said, "Can you imagine playing from back there? It's going to be absurd."
The funniest part to it is though, number 5 is a par 5, and they're legitimately 28 yards difference in length.
4 was a tough hole. It really sticks out in my mind.
It's
as
one
being a hard
handicap.
hole.
Yeah, that's one handicap on here, which makes sense. Yeah, it was just, and it's downhill, so the pros that hit it will get some benefit from at least the slope. But it's like a bowl. Like you hit into it and then you come right back up into it. So like your approach shot, you need to figure out how to get a long iron high, or else it's not sitting on the green.
Uh-oh. I'm an extremely low ball hitter. I'm just gonna have to
we'll
play
see
bogeys.
We'll see how it plays. I'm sure they'll have tamed a little of the firmness and stuff by the time we get there. But
So according to the rep, they're keeping it U.S. Open conditions until like 3rd week of July. So we should be playing it on like its last or next to last week before they punch and start bringing it back to resort style, because it's a country club, I guess, in a sense. And so like
I was looking forward to this.
Yeah, from what Chase said, we are going. Everything will be, I guess, whatever they had for the U.S. Open carried all the way until end of July, till they punch. So it's gonna be burnt and crispy and hard and fast. And so I'm just excited to see everybody try to putt and chip around this.
What do you think wins it? Not us, the U.S. Open.
I mean, these guys are so good; they're gonna get under par. I would think like 3 to 5.
You think?
It's just hard to, with how good these guys are in their short games now. I mean, just even the bad ones.
Oh, I'm thinking it might go lower than that.
You think?
That golf course is unfathomably hard for me, for us. And
Yeah.
it's incredibly difficult. But the PGA just got won at 21 under, and 2 players finished at 20. 20 was the major championship scoring record going into that week.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Valhalla didn't look like too much of a challenge to them, but I guarantee you none of us break 100 on that course from the back tee.
Yeah, I think what Valhalla had differently though is it was wet. Like
Sure.
they had the ability to control the ball. I don't know how well they're going to be able to control the ball.
But look how long it played,
I mean,
and still 3 people tied or broke the scoring record.
yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see it go higher, but I can't. I really think the greens are going to make it tough to grind out those super low runs.
How low would it have to get in the U.S. Open for you to start favoring the rollback?
If they got to, I think if another Valhalla happens, then yeah, because
it's already
I
in
can
play.
Find,
it's going to happen. But
I can find interest in about almost any way a tournament will come out. Like the Birdie Marathon can be fun to watch. So is even par, depending on the course and everything. But if it happens again where there's 20 or more under par in a major, I'd be like, all right, maybe you guys need to get checked a little bit.
But is it gonna be distance that makes a difference to them? I saw one.
I don't think so.
I saw a Bryson DeChambeau clip, and I guess he had like a rollback ball or a version of one or something. He had some way of kind of showing what the rollback ball would do.
Probably 3D printed it.
Very well.
You'd better just bought a box of Titleist Professionals from 1998 off the internet.
And he still hit his driver like 340 with the rollback ball. And I guess in the way that they've done the math, he said it's supposed to be like 25 yards difference. And he's like, honestly, it could probably be more like 30, 35. But he hit another ball and hit it like 40 yards further.
I still think that only hurts the short hitters.
Correct. I don't think it's going to make a difference to the Rorys, the Scheffler, the Xanders, the DeChambeaus.
I think it increases their advantage.
Because they're still going to hit it long, yeah.
They're still going to hit it that much further than everybody else. You roll back the ball, everybody's hitting the same ball. If your swing speed is 30 miles an hour faster than mine, you're going to hit it that much further than me.
Correct.
And instead of, I know the idea is,
well, the courses aren't going to get shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do they want from it? Do they want the scores to be lower?
I think the real driving factor is the golf courses not becoming obsolete.
Because you know how much work they've done on like Augusta, like lengthening 13 and stuff. One opinion I heard was like, hey, we're running out of real estate if we have to change all these golf courses, and it's just
when it changes the character of the courses too.
Yeah,
all these old iconic early 20th century golf courses.
Like St. Andrews.
Yeah.
They get around there no problem.
St. Andrews was short.
They annihilated it 2 years ago. Yeah, when Cam Smith won it, they had hammered St. Andrews.
That was another. What he won at 20 as well, right?
Who?
Cam Smith. You got the box in front of you. Look it up.
Yeah. No.
Pretty sure it was 20.
But he.
Now, one thing I do disagree about the golf ball rollback. I think it should only apply to professionals, and I think that's been out there and written about 100 times. But it's like your boy out here's a short knocker.
Right.
Can't be rolling the golf
taking
ball
15
back
yards away
for
from me is.
I'll have to move
it's
up.
like taking 15% of somebody's income.
I'll have to move up some tees.
Yeah, it doesn't. St. Andrews 20 under. Yeah, you're right.
Because that was the scoring record.
Yeah, that's wild. But I guess with something like Pinehurst, they can control it because they're set up U.S. Open wise. Like they can dry that thing out. They can move pins. Like they can. After Thursday, if somebody goes out and shoots 63 and goes 7 under, like they can be like, that ain't happening again. And they can. What was it? One of the opens, I don't know, 7-8 years ago when the wind was so bad and like had to stop play and the balls like they couldn't. The wind was literally blowing the balls on the greens where they were trying to putt. And they're putting pins in tough spots. They can.
I don't recall that.
That was Shinnecock, wasn't it, when Phil hit his own putt back to him?
I don't think that was the wind. I think those greens were just that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This was an Open that they
There's
had.
been a few U.S. Opens in the last decade and a half or so that they've kind of. What did Zach Johnson say? They've lost the course.
Well, he also bitched about the waste management. He's a little bitch.
He can't say much of anything now after his Ryder Cup performance. He's been getting roasted.
All right. I didn't mean to make this a Zach Johnson bash fest.
I
I don't have a
never
problem with him.
rooted
I've always
against
liked ZJ. Yeah.
I didn't like. I mean, some of his reactions lately at the waste management, like confronting, dude, you're a pro. You know what you're getting into. I understand it sucks. Like, it can suck. The waste management did get a little out of hand from what I've heard from friends this year compared to what it's been.
I feel like every year it gets pushed further and further and further, and you see more and more pictures of people passed out. And
Was it the Thunderbirds or whatever run? I think this year they hit it. I think this year was the wall, because Gene was there, and he said it was so bad they didn't even go on Saturday. They weren't even scanning people's tickets. The people who were running the ticket booths just left, and it was just like you just walked in. Hundreds of thousands of people just.
Gene, they didn't go back because the tournament experience was
It was too much.
too much.
And Gene
Wow.
Gene's a party boy.
That's
Like,
why I said, wow.
yeah, you know, they were gonna go, and the cops like said something to him, and they're like, they had gone Friday, and he's like, I'm good. Let's just go back to our hotel room.
this is why we can't have nice things.
Because it used to just be, from what I understand, it used to just be 16. Like, that was I mean, obviously a little rowdy kind of everywhere, but I think to point out, it's poured over into all of the holes. And so it's for 18 holes, you're just getting your ass handed to you if you're not playing well from the fans.
Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm, too, because, you know, Phoenix is absolutely enormous city. It's got to be top 5 or 10 in the country. And there's all kinds of, you know, there's a bunch of like influencer and celebrities that live there and stuff. So if you're going to promote, to like, hey, this is the biggest party in town, you know, all those people that aren't really golf fans they're going to go too. And I think it'll be fine though. They just got out
They'll
of
have to pump,
hand.
they need to pump the brakes on a few things.
Yeah, 5th largest city in the U.S.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but it's
they'll be fine. I mean, and it used to be, well, I guess it's one of the elevated events now, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it waste management?
I think it
Elevated?
is.
That might be why, because there's a lot of big names. I mean, I think that, but you have the
I'm
golfers that
almost
enjoy
positive
it.
it is this
I
year.
mean, it used to be a really small tournament that not all the stars played in, and you know, people were just drinking, having a good time. But they were mainly golfers, and I think now they made it elevated. They promoted
It's not.
16.
It isn't.
It isn't.
Oh, wow.
No, it's not. It's not a signature or elevated event.
They've been getting some bigger names in it recently.
I mean, but I think it's fun. I think you have to go in knowing what it is. You have to be okay being heckled. You have to be okay with the noise. You have to be all right with that. And I guess that goes back to Zach. Like, because he popped off at the waste management. He popped off at the Masters on 12.
Yeah.
And then something else. And granted, I think people have been giving him hell because of the poor Ryder Cup showing. But part of that is him, and part of that is the players didn't show up. But you know, that's a whole nother topic on a whole nother day.
Either way, you just got to have a little bit thicker skin,
Yeah,
I think.
you're a sports figure. You're a celebrity, I guess, in a sense.
Haters are going to hate, and when you're inside the ropes, you're going to catch a lot of flack.
Correct.
Especially when you got the Oakley blades on.
Speaking of old-fashioned, those sunglasses,
Yeah.
he's still rocking them.
So, well, dude, I think this is a great spot to end episode 1.
Okay.
I don't know, ended up on Zach and some old Oakley blades, but that was fun. I enjoyed it, and that's it. So appreciate you guys.
Call it before we end tape. That way we can look back and see who was stupid.
All right, call it. I'm gonna go
Final score. Score wins the US Open.
score or person.
Score.
Score. I think
Person's a grab bag.
I know. I'm gonna throw a person and a score.
Okay, give me a person and a
I'm
score.
coming at Shane here. I think Jordan Spieth.
But have you seen him hit some irons lately?
Just be ready.
I didn't realize we were going to take the hottest of all takes.
I
Big
hope you're
Spieth
right.
fan.
I thought-
Big Spieth fan. He ain't got it right
I
now.
don't think there's a bigger Spieth fan than to the left of me, but I'm gonna go Jordan Spieth 500 par.
God, I kind of just want to agree with you, but I can't.
Nothing would make him happier.
That is, I hope you win. I hope you're right, but I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to say -9 wins, and I'll take Rory.
Chris's eyes.
I did not expect this to go though. I thought both of you were going to say like 3 over and pick somebody in the top 3 in the world. I'll play Price is Right because I'm the one that said I think it'll go lower than everybody expects, and I'll go 10.
Okay.
So double digits under par. I don't have a clue who's going to get there.
Well, I didn't either.
I don't
Rory
think
just came out.
I don't think it's. I opened my mouth and I said Rory, and now I regret it. No, I'm not picking a person, but I will say that it's going to be under 10.
Boo. Yeah, throw a name out. Give us a name.
Maverick McNeely.
Maverick McNeely. Okay.
Good player.
Let's go.
It was the most esoteric name I could come up with. I don't know anything about the kid. I hope he's good.
Hits it straight.
All right.
No, whoever. Short game will win.
So 10 under, short game. Got it. Well, appreciate it, guys. Episode 1. Like, subscribe, comment. You can listen to us on all the platforms. And that's a wrap.